Welcome back, everybody, to the SoCal Raider Report. We are back with the simulcast on YouTube and on Spotify. Bringing it back to the beginning, everybody. Guess what? You want to know what happens? This is what happens, Larry.
You see what happens, Larry?
Second down and 2. Raiders on the move. Myers gets it on the jet sweep. Myers down the sideline. What a cut! Touchdown! Jacoby Myers!
This is what happens, Larry.
This is what happens, Larry.
Jacobs gets the carry. Looking for room. Jacobs pushing the pile in for the touchdown.
This is what happens. Fake news, fake Raider media trying to kiss Mcdummy's ass.
That's what happens, Larry. That's what happens, Larry.
Loud by the Raider defense. DeVito will step up in the pocket, and he's looking deep over the middle, and that ball is going to be intercepted. Amik Robertson leaping in front of Jalen Hyatt to the pick. Robertson still on the run, and all the way out to the 40-yard line. The best starting field position for the Raiders at the 40-yard line, and O'Connell wants to take a deep shot. And he's got Trey Tucker out there. Tucker diving, and he makes the catch inside the 10.
Just downhill with Jacobs, no messing around.
Jacobs plowing forward to the goal line. Look at him reach the football over for the touchdown. First and 10 at the 25-yard line. DeVito over the middle, deflected, and it's intercepted. Caromed into the hands of Nate Hobbs.
Raider Joe, welcome back.
What's up, Raider Erne? Man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for a new beginning. You know me. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, bro. But toward the end of McDaniel's tenure, we knew it was over. We knew it was done. And then you hear the stories about what happened in the meeting when they tried to, with the players only meeting, and him getting mad that Antonio Pierce talked shit about the Patriots. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Right?
Bro, how much would you have paid just being a fly on the wall to sit in that meeting, like to hear everybody have it out?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what was said. We can only imagine.
Yeah.
What was said in that meeting.
It's amazing. It's amazing how, I'm not going to, you know me, bro. I tend to get a little far ahead of myself a little bit, but it's just amazing when you get a group of men on the same page playing inspired football. They really can beat anybody now, just if they can keep up this motivation,
Yeah, man. And, it's crazy because a lot of people say, well, what happened to the SoCal Raider Report? Where you guys been? What's going on? Why'd you guys go out? Listen, we went off the air because I have had a silent protest since the McDaniels era started, and I couldn't do it anymore, guys. I mean, I had to go audio only. And those of you that listen to us on Spotify, we appreciate you. We love you. But, when you bring in a coach from Compton, California, Joe, I went to college in Compton, man. All these things I know how to do. Praise God, I learned a lot of those things at Dominguez Hills. Shout out to Cal State Dominguez Hills. And that's obviously right next to Compton and Carson, but I hung out. So when the coach comes out and he says, straight out of Compton. I'm like,
when I was listening to that introductory press conference,
Straight out of Compton.
I really wanted to run through a wall like freaking Ultimate Warrior running down the aisle, bro. Just ready to go, man. How do you not want to just run through walls for that guy? Somebody like that, he's real, bro. That's what it takes. He's real. He wears his, you could tell he's somebody that just, he's open, he's honest, and he's just a real player. He's a real person, and he treats you like a real person. And the fact that he can connect with the players, like I've been saying all along, we have the talent. This is a guy, we need somebody like this, and I'm not going to say he's the long-term solution. Maybe he is, but you look at who's the successful coaches now, right? I mean, they're not your ordinary coaches like the Bill Belichick's of the world. It's the dude from Miami that's like dancing around with his players on the field. It's like, it's just a different world now, and you got to be able to connect with your players, bro. And those are the guys that are successful right now.
the change, the overall feeling of the game. I mean, just the fact that Joe Raider Nation is united for once and for all. Finally, after all the drama, I mean, all the Kardashians and all the different Jimmy G haters and all the McDaniel donkey people and just all that, you know. And I'm just gonna say it right now. I mean, it feels so good. Like it feels so good to watch a Raider game and be excited again and be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like my wife wasn't used to it. She's like, what's wrong with you? She forgot, you know, because I've been quiet.
Yeah.
You know, I've been quiet for a while, and now I just got that feeling again, just like I feel like breakdancing.
I feel like breakdancing.
I feel like breakdancing, and I love to see, and I love that they fired not only McDaniels, they fired Ziegler, and they fired freaking Lombardi, dude. Mike Lombardi's son, Mick Lombardi. That guy's a scumbag. Get out of here.
You know, I think what they proved. I mean, you started hearing about the Patriot way, whatever. Yeah, we want to win 6 Super Bowls too, but it wasn't the Patriot way. It's the Tom Brady way, you know. And Tom Brady's a guy that's looking like a straight superstar right now, bro. I mean, because Belichick looks like shit. You know, Josh McDaniels looks like shit, and all along he carried them for 6 Super Bowls. You know, we can say whatever we want to say about Brady, but you know, he used to be the hated one, used to be like the F word, but now he's part of us, you know, so we just got to embrace him. And I'm fine with embracing a champion like that, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel you too on that. And, you know, the moment that he left the Patriots and went on a win on his own, you know, did it on his own with Tampa, you know, just proves that, yeah, this guy's a winner. And, you know, it also shows that, like, who the scumbags were in the equation is number one has got to be McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but people, there's people that like still are defending him, like JT the Brit. Oh, his family. Oh, this and that. Get lost. Get out of here. Get out of here on the first shuttle. Get lost. Go back to wherever you're from.
Yeah.
Go back to La La Land. You're gone. You know what I mean?
It's the reality, bro. His family is just fine, bro. He's still getting paid. We're just basically paying him not to coach anymore because we're so disgusted with him. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Sometimes you have to make that decision. It's kind of like losing your regular job, getting severanced out. I mean, we obviously Mark Davis, like you said, he had high hopes when he first hired him, and it just didn't come to fruition. So goodbye.
No, Mark Davis smartened up. You know, He finally smartened up. You know, and you can say whatever you want, but I do feel like he finally had to listen to Raider Nation. People had enough. When the fans are telling you, when the players are telling you, when everybody's telling you this is the wrong move, I'm sorry. I'm glad he wasn't patient.
Yeah.
This guy had to go.
Yep.
This guy had to go. And it reminded me so much, Joe, back when we were kids, I said this from the beginning. This reminded me of when they hired Mike Shanahan. When they hired Mike Shanahan was an up-and-coming coordinator I believe he actually was with the 49ers, and he just wasn't a fit, man. He just wasn't a Raider, and it didn't work. And I remember it was near this time, I believe it was in 1988, 89. I could be wrong, but they fired Mike Shanahan, and Arshell had his first game as a Raiders coach, and the Raiders rallied, and they beat the New York Jets. On Monday Night Football. Ooh, and I remember that was such a pivotal moment, man, because the Raiders, just like this team, were so talented back then, but nothing was happening with Shanahan because he just wasn't a Raider.
And it becomes united, right? The Raider Nation is united as one once again. And what I will say is, and Antonio Pierce said in the press conference, you know, he's not promising that we're going to go undefeated the rest of the way, but we're going to play. We're going to play as a team. And ultimately, I can live with that. You know, I can live with losing with players that are playing inspired. I can't live with losing the way we lost to the Chicago Bears and just laid eggs, you know?
No.
I can. It's kind of like, and I'll bring it back to, when Carver started, we were losing. We were losing almost every game, but there was hope, right? And now the hope is back in the Raider Nation. And whatever happens going forward, I said it through text, Aaron, when he was first hired in the press conference, I'm thinking this guy's fucking awesome. He's probably not the long-term solution because he's like me. He wants to kill everybody, and you can't. That's not long-term success. But that's the Raider mentality I would love to, but at the same time, I would love whether he is long term or short term. I would still love to be able to keep him on the coaching staff, even if he's not our coach. But if he does lead us, right? And again, I may be looking a little too forward, but if he does lead us to be fighting for a playoff spot, you can't do a Rich Bisaccia again, bro. You gotta at least give
Oh
him
no.
another year, bro. You
Oh
gotta give
no.
him a year.
I'm right there with you on that. Like, I'm serious. I was just saying this. If he makes it or at least competes for a playoff spot, you got to give him and this coaching staff another year.
Yep.
I mean, the defense is finally stepping up to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, we've been waiting for this for so long. So you got to give, the defensive coach a lot of credit because this defense is swarming. 8 sacks, Joe.
Yeah,
When was the last time the Raiders had 8 sacks?
Dude, when was the last time you were excited to see the defense come on the field, bro? Like knowing we're about to make a play. I was watching that Giant game. Yeah, it was cool to see Aiden O'Connell. It's cool to see Josh Jacobs running like a bat out of hell again. He's running like a beast mode.
Yeah.
It was great to see that, but I was excited after the score. I can't wait to see the defense go back out again. It was awesome.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Dude, they were swarming, man. They were making turnovers. I'm ecstatic. I mean, seriously, I'm still thinking back to that game. I know we were playing Danny DeVito's son and all that, but
all right.
The reality is in the NFL, we always say this: anybody can be anybody.
Yeah, and I don't even want to go to Danny DeVito's son. I get it, but I mean, like we just got beat by a fucking guy that got beat by the College of Mines, right? Colorado State College of Mines, because our guys weren't ready to play. So I don't want to hear like, oh, it's a backup quarter. Well, we just got whooped. We got whooped last year by under this coaching staff. We got whooped by Baker Mayfield that just came out of the freaking shower to go play for the Rams.
We got beat by Jeff Saturday.
Exactly.
In his first game coaching an NFL game.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear that it was it was against the sometimes it's a little bit harder when you have a quarterback come in like that because you don't know what to expect. So, but you could just see the inspiration with the players, and I loved it, man. I really loved it.
Oh yeah, man. It was Raider football, and you know what I also noticed is that the stadium seemed packed with more Raider fans than I've seen lately, and I think that's going to be a trend. As this probably the smartest marketing thing that Mark Davis could have done was get rid of this other regime and bring in this young man. This guy, I heard he rolled up to the game, Joe. Get this. I heard he rolled up to the game in a 64 Impala, man. Rolling in my 6'4".
Because I'm rolling in my 6'4". What all the homies saying.
Yeah, dude. When he said I was born a Raider, man. Long Beach Poly, born a Raider. I was like, oh, this is me, bro. This is
exactly, LA Raiders.
Yeah, this is exactly how I'd be. If I was the coach of Raiders, I'd be fucking crazy like that, dude. I'd be like, let's go, fucking yelling Raiders at and the victory speech. And, I mean, again, I don't know if that's a long-term success, but hey, I'll roll with him, bro. Let's go.
Let it ride. Yeah. Let it ride, man. And I know it's only been 1 week, but you got to see, like, I think everybody that has at least been following the Raiders or takes a look at the Raiders can just see the level of excitement, the unity. The fans have come together, man, and now they are supporting this team. Even though, again, yes, you may say, "Oh, everybody, the Giants, they suck," or whatever. So do the Bears, like you said. Mm-hmm. It's obvious now that this team is on a different path, a different direction, and who knows? Like you said. Anybody can beat anybody. And honestly, the Raiders showed me throughout the last few years that they have players that can compete on a very, very high level. Very high level.
Yeah, I agree. I was really happy. I mean, we can debate about Aiden O'Connell if he's the future too. We'll get a good look by the end of the year and know that. But he had a lot of poise. He played definitely a lot better than he did against the Chargers. He had a lot more poise, a lot more awareness in the pocket. And again, we're talking about the Giants offense that's struggling, but their defense is still pretty solid. And we threw up 30.
Yes. So they had a very good defense. And honestly, like he was a couple throws away from even lighting that scoreboard up bigger. And from what I understand, it was like a coaching thing, but they kind of just let the pedal off the gas. It's like, all right, we got this. If you notice, Jacobs kind of stopped playing more in the second half. they kind of just eased up the whole thing and just wanted to get everybody off the field without a bunch of injuries, which is smart, man. You know, I figure a young coach like that just wanted to go crazy and try to prove a point, but they did handle it with class. They were smart. You know, looks like the injury report's going to be a little lower this week. And as we head into Sunday Night Football, you got to wonder, like, what's the chances the Raiders could beat the Jets? Because, I mean, the Jets look terrible, Joe. The Raiders, the Raiders have a good chance this week.
Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday night at home. I think we definitely have a great chance. I mean, we're playing against an even better defense, but probably a worse offense than the Giants. So
they looked pretty bad yesterday against the Chargers.
I think if we come to play, there's no doubt in my mind. Here's what I will say: there is no doubt in my mind that we will win this Sunday. All right. I think that we're gonna still come inspired, playing in front of the hometown. What you're gonna start seeing now that the Raider Nation is united, Raider Nation is united again. You're gonna see a lot less people selling their tickets. You know, you'll see a lot more black in there, and look forward to seeing that on Sunday. And and then after Sunday, then we got a couple of tough games. I mean, again, I tend to look ahead, but we can't look ahead. Let's take care of the Jets, and then we'll worry about the Dolphins and Chiefs.
Yeah, man. I'm serious. Like, and again, it feels so good to be back here, and we're gonna be back on video so people can see our emotion and how excited we are. And you know, it's just so cool to see it. But yeah, one game at a time, man. Just gotta hold on to that feeling and just get in there and just beat the freaking Jets ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just beat their ass.
Yep.
And just then you start talking about Miami and KC. You know,
it's just crazy when you think like throughout the week you hear about shit that just happened. Like you hear the story obviously on the Patriots one, and then today he was in a press conference. I don't know if it was today, maybe yesterday. They talked about having practice squad members on the field during games. And I didn't know McDaniels didn't allow practice squad players on the field. Like it's like they're there in every meeting, they're there in practice, but in game day, if you look at the press conference with Antonio Pearson, he's like they're there, they have a Raider uniform on, they're there in practice, they're in every meetings, and then game day, they're nowhere to be found because they weren't allowed on field. And he just basically says, that's not me. I'm not about that. And hopefully they're not practice squad members. Hopefully they make it to the real squad, but they're going to be part of this team. So that's how you get people motivated, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep.
He has definitely got the pulse, and the players just look so much more happy. I mean, at the end of the game, you know, there's all the video circulating of everybody smoking the cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Some people said they're smoking something else, but you know, like smell like pine cones.
Yeah.
But you know, either way, I mean, they all look like they're having a good time, and that's what it's about, man. You know, it's like this is a kids game, and people should, if they're gonna play it, they're making millions of dollars. Well, shoot, man, at least enjoy it. Because before this, it just like Hunter Renfrow said, it looked like everybody was walking on freaking eggshells, which is exactly like what happened with Mike Shanahan. History tends to repeat itself, Joe.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
That first year that Art Shell took over, the Raiders became very much competitive again. I do believe they did not make the playoffs, but the next year they started on a run that ultimately led them to almost going to the Super Bowl in '93. So, you know, I don't know, man. I think, like we were saying, we just got to wait and see. We can't get too excited. You know, it's not Christmas yet, but you want to play your best football in November. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
In the NFL, you want to play your best football in November because, honestly, the AFC is still like, the division winner, the leaders are up there, and they're like all pretty good. But other than that, man, we're still basically in second place, you know, or close. I mean, I know the Chargers won. I think we're maybe just, I don't know, fractionally behind them, but we're still in it in the AFC, man.
We're definitely in it, man. We are definitely in it now. We're coming up on some tough games, but to say that at 4-5 right now, you think about the Bills, they're 5-4. So I mean, it's not like anybody's running away. Even the Chiefs, to be honest, they don't impress me at all, bro. The Chiefs.
No,
I mean,
their defense is solid. Think of it. The Chiefs just lost 2 weeks ago to Denver.
Yep, I know. And they didn't just lose. They lost big time. And the reality is they got a good defense, but their offense just isn't clicking. And I don't know if it's I don't know if it's since they lost Tyreek Hill and they just don't have that weapon anymore that they used to have. But I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the fact that they have Taylor Swift Ono now on the team, so they pair them up like the Beatles. Hopefully that's what happens. We'll see.
Yeah,
See what happens.
yeah. No, I mean she's poison, but
Yeah.
you know what? You got, like you said, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. You just got to think about this week, Sunday Night Football, man. It's going to be a treat. I know we're going to be texting Joe,
Yeah.
and everybody else that's involved with this is excited, man. But let me ask you something. Like, who do you think like really stood out the most to you from last week's game? Not to go too far in the past, but who stood
Yeah.
out? I mean, the coaching staff, obviously, but who
Yeah.
stood out to you, Joe?
The coaching staff stood out. Obviously, it made him inspired, but from a player standpoint, I think by far just seeing Josh Jacobs run like he used to run last year. You could see he had fresh legs, ready to go. You could tell, like, you heard in the press conference that, they had meetings on what runs you like to do that they weren't having before. They were just, McDaniels was running his own show. So for Josh Jacobs to run inspired again, you see how much that opened up the offense for O'Connell just by having Josh Jacobs, the threat of Josh Jacobs breaking it. He could have had a lot. To your point, he could have had a lot more runs. He could have had a lot more. He went for 98 yards, but it was good to see him play. And I would tell you, the other didn't really have a stand-up performance, but it was great to see him getting the ball again. Our boy number 13, Hunter Renfro, man. It was good to see him getting the ball,
Yes.
bro. Really good. Fan
Oh
favorite.
man, I'm
If
like,
he would
there
have,
he is, third and Renfro when we
yep,
needed him.
yep. If he would have,
Like, what kind of stupid coaching staff would not want to put a player like that in a position to be successful? I don't get it.
especially when they know the fan base just loves this guy. He's a hardworking guy. If he would have scored in that play where I think O'Connell got sacked, but they had him, he just didn't have enough time. If they would have got a touchdown on that, I think the stadium would have rushed the field, bro. Would have been so
Oh,
excited.
oh, oh yeah, bro. It was like a feeding frenzy at that point because I mean everybody saw it. He popped wide open over across
Yeah,
the middle, and unfortunately, yeah, either Jacobs or somebody, one of the running backs missed that damn block. Otherwise, he was going for him too.
yep,
He just
yep,
couldn't get the ball out. But that gives you hope because you know what? It's crazy. I don't even understand how this. And it's cool that the offensive coordinator name is Bo,
yeah,
whatever. Bo
yeah,
knows because Bo knows the plays. Because
yeah.
man, what's the difference? How does this offense all of a sudden just pop out in all these other weeks? Like especially against the Lions, especially against the Bears, like nothing.
Because we have the talent, bro. We had the talent all along. It's just they weren't getting used properly. That we have it. Like, you look at this shit, bro. Jacoby Myers is probably the best number 2 receiver in the league. Devontae Adams. When you think about Devontae, whether he gets catches or not, there I don't really care about Devontae's cat stats. I just know that he frees up so much for everybody else, right?
Oh yeah,
And to have Hunter Renfro, available again, to have Jacoby Myers, Devontae, I mean, even Myers, that's Mayer, that rookie, but he's proven that he can make some plays. So,
and don't forget about the most beautiful deep ball we've seen
that
yet.
was
Actually,
beautiful.
his second of
Yeah,
the year,
Trey,
Trey Tucker,
yep, Trey.
number 11.
And that's like we did not use him at all. It's like crazy. And to your
No,
point, I mean, it may be a product of the fact that Jimmy G just can't throw a good deep ball. I get it, but that's I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I think I'm glad. At the same time, I'm glad that we're at the point we're at. Yeah, I don't like being 4-5, but I do like the fact that it's O'Connell time, and knowing all the talent that's coming out in the draft, we'll get a good 10 games to see how good O'Connell is. Or 8
yeah,
games,
yeah,
whatever. So,
and it could end up like honestly, like even if they like get their butt kicks in some of these games, I'm still gonna be happy, dude.
yeah, yeah,
I'm still gonna be back to how I felt like before the McDaniels era. Because I'll be honest with you, Joe. Like I'm sure you could tell, like when the McDaniels era started, bro, I was just like I kind of checked out, man. I was like, I
yeah.
hate this. This is like I'm rooting for Satan. You know what I mean? Like I can't do it, man. It's just even though I love the Raiders, I'm so conflicted, And now it's just like I'm all the way back in.
Yeah,
Like,
that's funny how how easily you and I just get back. Like we can. I was, the game started at 1:25. I was at 12:45, sitting in front of my TV, just waiting for that Raider game to come on.
Yep.
I was just waiting, watching YouTube videos, watching the press conference, and ready to go.
Yes.
And then the way we came out, bro, fucking right off the bat, dude, just 14-0 like that. And then, oh, here we go, baby. Here we
Oh
go.
my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
I text my brother and my brother was like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable." He's like, "How like what a freaking 180, you know?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like I said, it's so fun. It
Yeah.
brings it back, and it brings it back in such a major way that us as fans can all of a sudden just like, yes, this is what I can get behind this. It just reminds me like of that time. Like I always go back to that with Art Shell the first time. They were putting up signs all around the Coliseum. We love you, Art. And just, it was like we're home again.
Yeah.
And with this guy reminds me of like a bigger, buffer Hugh Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully he learns the lessons of Hugh, because I loved Hugh Jackson. A lot of
Yeah.
people didn't
Yeah.
like him, but I did love Hugh Jackson. And it takes me back because that's kind of around the time we started the show, because we got so excited with him,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
things that he was doing, and I just feel like that same level of excitement, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm just like, God, finally.
I remember when Hugh got fired in the exit press conference. He said, "Look, I mean, it was basically he's gonna be involved in everything next year, to be more involved in everything." And then the next day he was fired. So I guess he isn't. So, but then you find a coach that connects with the players, man. And to your point, you got to ride with it, man. You got to ride it, and he obviously, has proven, a lot of the, reading up on him because I didn't know much about him, obviously. But I was reading up on Pierce and all his prior teammates, knew that he was going to be a coach one day, and because you can just see it in people, and he had it, bro, and hopefully we continue this ride, and to your point, it's just win, baby. Um, but I think we talked about it before. It's different to lose with the Raider than to lose with the fucking Patriot. So if
Yeah.
we end up losing to somebody that was born a Raider, and we know that the passion that he has for the team, we're not going to go undefeated. I mean, who knows? We're undefeated right now. If we take it one game at a time, like we're supposed to, and we could beat everybody. I said we were going to be 13-4 this year. Maybe with this team, if he had them in the beginning of the year, we would have been. Who knows?
And who knows that maybe though they needed all that adversity to happen and they needed that change to spark something special this year. But it's crazy because it just takes you back, man, to, like I said, it takes you back to the importance of coaching. It takes you back to the importance of culture, and it takes you back to realizing that Raider Nation is not like anything else. You can't bring Patriots crap to the Raiders. It just doesn't work. I mean, like I told you guys before, you can't bring the Celtics to the Lakers. You just can't. It's just not going to work. It's a family thing. And I think one of the favorite stories I heard was actually from David Carr, Derek Carr's brother, who played with the Giants when they went to that team, and Antonio Pierce was on there. And I think he said he ran in a touchdown against the Raiders. Raiders were getting blown out by the Giants, and then he was trying to celebrate a little bit. But Antonio Pierce, playing linebacker for the Giants, like, hey, take it easy. That's my team.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Even when he was a player, you know what I mean? I think that's a dope story.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's cool, man. There's so many cool, and you know what? There's a lot of little things leaking now about McDaniels. All
Yeah.
those are little nuggets, man. I just like to, ooh,
I, I
ooh,
can't
yeah.
I can't see. I think his head coaching career is over, bro. I don't think anybody will ever give him another chance. I mean,
Do you think
especially,
he goes walking back to the Patriots or crying back to the Patriots?
I think that's his only opportunity. His only opportunity to ever coach again is probably to be the offensive coordinator for Bill Belichick. And then when Bill Belichick retires, maybe he gets the Patriot job. But I mean, I just can't see it. I can't.
I can't see it. I can't see it. I mean, like I said, from the stories that I've heard about that meeting, people just teed off on him, and I heard that he was so shooken that they had to go out to practice after that, and he was like basically like a shell of himself.
Yeah,
Like
I
he
heard
couldn't
the same
even.
thing. I heard
I
the
was like,
same thing.
man, that's tough. That's when basically ever tells you, hey, we hate your ass. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you almost feel bad for him, but he brought it upon himself, man, because you have that God complex where everything needs to be his way, and
Yeah. As a teacher, you feel that sometimes from your students, like there's days they just hating your ass because you have to be that hard nosed person, but you gotta let them have fun, man. And that's one thing, thank God, I know to do with my kids and my players is like let them have some fun, let them have some good times and to remember that, oh yeah, this guy loves us, he's with us. And I just feel like McDaniels couldn't do that, man. I just feel like he had such a rock of coal up his ass so hard. I mean, he had multiple diamonds coming out. He just
he tried to be Bill Belichick without the pedigree, and the reality is it's he coached like he already won six Super Bowls as a coach. No, you didn't win six Super Bowls as a coach, and you
as
don't
a
have Tom Brady.
coordinator.
Yeah, as a coordinator, and you don't have Tom Brady right now. You don't have an elite defense, but maybe what we're showing now is. We possibly can have an elite defense, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I will
That's
say, yeah, looking at the draft that they did,
yes.
some of these players may turn out. They might be saying, you know what, Ziegler probably did a. I'm not upset at the draft. I think Ziegler did a decent job finding talent. We got some good talent from this draft. But if you're gonna get rid of McDaniel's, that they came as a package deal. You got to get rid of them as a package deal.
Yeah. No. One of the cool things actually that Ziegler apparently did was really modernize the Raiders scouting department and player personnel. And the young man that they brought up, was his name Caldwell or the GM, the acting GM now, dude.
But Champ
He's a
Bailey,
guy. Huh?
isn't it Champ Bailey
Oh yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. Champ
yeah,
Bailey. Yeah, yeah, Champ Bailey. He's a guy like that they thought maybe would be the GM on his own.
yep, yep.
So you got somebody right there. So you kind of just like as much as you know me, Joe. I've been shouting for Harbaugh the whole time,
Mhm.
but for the money, for what you got, I mean, even with AOC, imagine if he ends up being the guy and you got to pay him like what $1 million next year.
Mhm. Yep. I know.
I mean,
Yeah, and that's the thing.
you
It's
could
like,
build the defense.
yeah. Is that like we're still paying Gruden and we're paying McDaniels. Gruden's obviously a different reason, but we're paying McDaniels because the wrong decision was made to hire him. But that doesn't change the fact that we're still paying him.
Yeah,
Uh,
and we're gonna have to still pay Garoppolo. That's
yeah,
gonna be a lot of money, but it's not my money.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? When you get the Raider Nation United, money's not an option. Money's not an issue. I mean, you got Mark Davis. Face it, Mark Davis is a billionaire, bro, and you start winning, it's going to pay for itself, But I do think obviously he's going to be thinking, all right, Antonio Pierce is probably the cheapest option, to coach next year if we're going to hire. Because if we hire Harbaugh from Michigan, he's going to cost more than McDaniels and Gruden combined probably to bring him out. So
Oh yeah,
we'll
oh
see.
yeah. He's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna want top dollars, and then on top of everything else, he still owes. But what you brought up something that's kind of interesting too that came out this week as we talk Raiders is the John Gruden case, man. That's
Mhm.
gonna happen.
That's
That
actually today
is
the 7th.
going to happen.
Oh, they heard. So today was I haven't even looked up what happened, but today they were in court hearing arguments from for the case. So it was November 7th. That just reminded me right now. So I'm gonna look it up after to see what happens.
Yeah, the NFL, last week had motioned that they were trying to get this case back to arbitration, just basically going to pay him off. The thing is with Gruden, he's got all kinds of money.
Hmm.
Thanks to Mark Davis, he's flush
Yep,
with money,
yep,
so
yep.
he doesn't need to be paid off. He has a point to prove, and who knows where he's going to end up? Maybe he's going to, like you said, maybe he's going to end up the commissioner of the NFL.
I know.
Maybe he's going to end up as the president of the Raiders. It would be awesome to see him somehow reunited with the team. We
Yeah.
all say bad things we regret. Lord knows I've said so many bad things in my life. Christ forgive me, but you know, I think that he needs some redemption, and I would love to see him get Goodell
Yeah.
by the nuts.
I would love it too, especially because it was a total hit job on him. He's another Raider. whatever in any capacity, I would love to see him be, make up a damn position to get him on the Raiders again, and
In some manner.
yeah, some manner.
I mean, his son's still there. His son, is
Yep.
still the weights coach or whatever, but got to get him back, and
His lawyers are the same lawyer, Mark Davis's lawyers too, for this
yes,
case. So
yes, I heard after after he settled the case with him, and I heard he hired Mark Davis's lawyers,
yeah,
and then now he's got them, and now they've proven to be like formidable. The NFL is trying to get this thing out, and they can't. It's
yeah,
going to go to court, and now they're all just getting all in and sniffing all their panties. They're in
yeah.
there touching all their stuff, and they're getting through all the emails and all the things, and it's crazy because big stuff's going to come out of this, Joe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big stuff.
Oh yeah.
This is like Vince McMahon level crap. Like he's
Yeah.
going to be crying.
Yeah, I just can't wait for this because they're a bunch of that they're a bunch of snakes and
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
this is the filthiest piece of corporate America I've ever. They're the
Mhm.
dirtiest of the dirty, man.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out. I mean, who knows what level of things will come out? But that's just like gotta watch that. Can't wait to see that TV. You know what I mean?
I would love for like Gruden to be the VP or the president of ops or whatever, bring him back, and then we win the Super Bowl, and Goodell has to hand him the Super Bowl trophy, baby.
Oh man, how fitting would that be? That'd be just like when Roselle had to handle that trophy to
Yep.
Al Davis after he sued the league and won when the Raiders got the chance and got to move to
Yep.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It brings us back full circle, man. Antonio Pierce, just again, like I said, Joe, this is an exciting time, man. And I'm so happy that we got together here today talking mad Raiders football. We're going to be super hyped for Sunday. And I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just excited, man. What do you think?
I feel
Are
like
we going to
breakdancing
win this
too.
game?
I feel like breakdancing too. We are gonna win, baby. I tell you right now, just win, baby, and we're gonna come out I think we're gonna win significantly every game, but I do think our defense is gonna overpower their offense, and we're gonna figure out a way to get some points on the board against their defense. So, and it might be
I agree.
it might be our defense.
I full-heartedly agree with you.
Yeah.
I full-heartedly agree, and I'm excited for this game. I think the Raiders should win this game. I think they will win this game. But I'm telling you guys again, thanks so much, Joe, for coming on tonight. We are excited, guys. We are back. The SoCal
right.
Raider Report is back on the simulcast
That's
on
right.
YouTube and Spotify, baby.
That's right, baby.
All right, man.
All right.
Until next time, Joe.
All right.
SoCal Raider Report. We're back. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders, baby. All day.